Will President John Dramani Mahama go for a third term? This kind of question, and at a Seko Busa, a former chairman for a NPP, a Freddie Blay, at a say, or could she simple who say, on who anything wrong with it? At a say, Uchilema, President John Dramani Mahama, a bit miako, a for third term, Sagana for Tatu Abanaman and Kwandia. And no, and NPP for any big money come or muko kwapai. Say a day and a Freddie Blay. Odo wanu kotum. Na say also be so na President John Dramani Mahama ako a third term. Oma fire no ewo ho. Na constitution no SSN. Ye be ko a Eugene of a insurance firm or then analysis abeto dwa acha say yakọ constitution nim. Is it possible say President John Dramani Mahama serve for the third term? Na yeti a Freddie Blay. Nesema okokan ewo oyerepa NPP fo ni bi edwa omo kiremu a omo former chairman no nsema okan ne de wan kan ye kura.
Behind the veil is what the concern that there is a whole agenda, a scheme designed clearly to give John Mahama a third term. Are you worried about this?
I'm not at all worried. To give me that, it's not the court system or the judiciary. It's not a court that vote an individual or a party into power.
Yeah, but at least the court can interpret the law to see that John can seek another term.
If the court interprets it for an individual, I don't want to make it John Mahama. This is an individual.
But he's the president now.
At the moment, yes. Based on the constitution, I'm talking about particularly Article 61.
Right. No, I think 66. 66, 1 and 2.
61, 1 and 2.
Right.
And then, which states clearly that a president shall have a term of 4 years, and cannot go for 2 terms. Its interpretation, it's there, it stands alone.
Yeah, because in fact, Chairman, I just put the Constitution says that a person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms.
Very good. It's clear.
It's very clear.
Individuals said that very clear. But for more than 2 terms, you could go further. Could say when it says so for more than 2 terms could be that consecutively.
Right.
But maybe the word had not come. The law is in the bosom of the judges. If it goes to for example, the Supreme Court, which has the exclusive judicial of
to interpret the law
of the Constitution, not just the law, but the law, every other, the court can interpret the law, but in this case,
the Constitution.
Right. If that body decides that what they mean by 2 terms, more than 2 terms, means consecutively. In this case, he has gone
and come back.
And come back.
After so many years, after 8 years?
After 8 years, he's coming back. As to whether that is consecutive or it is 2 terms, you can look at it from that way. It's subject to a lot of interpretation, depending on how you are looking at it. If the law court decides so, me, Freddie Blay, I don't have any problem with that.
You don't have a problem?
I don't have it.
If they rule that John Mahama can go for another term.
Their own wisdom, they look at it and interpret it this way. Me, I'm saying that
really?
It's not the law court that vote for a president. The individuals who constitute a panel, who may look at a case, who will sit on the case, they have only 1 vote each.
That's true.
It's the people of this country who will vote. If they decide on that, and if the John Mahama in this case seeks another term and his party decides to fill in, I don't have any problem with that.
This sort of could be a recipe for disaster.
It could be a recipe in Africa.
For mutiny.
Please. In Africa, a lot of individual heads of states have exploited the situation where there is no limitation as to whether you could be in power for 2 years or for 2 terms or not, and maybe decide to stay for whatever years, some 40 years, 30 years, and so forth and so on. I'm saying if there's democracy, if the ground is leveled, if it is fair, and people in this country decide to vote for somebody for 2 terms, 3 terms, or 4 terms, Freddie Blay, I don't have any problem with that.
No, Chama, do I hear you say that? I mean, the capping or the limitation should essentially be even taken off. Do I hear you say that?
Indeed, at the end of the day, I don't mind if it can be taken off.
Really?
That's my position.
To allow for an individual
to
go as many times as he wants to contest.
If he wants to, and the party that he belongs to decides to fail him. As the people in this country, people of Ghana, talking like Ghanaians, go to election and say, this is the man we want.
I mean, this would be dangerous for our democracy because we've been practicing it for over 30 years. Yeah, I mean, but we've been doing since 92.
In many cases.
We've been doing 8 years for every president. I mean, this could be a reason for disaster.
Listen to me.
A chaotic situation, Chairman.
What we are used to for this since 92 had been the American example, the Nigerian example, and what else? I can't fathom. But in a place like UK, Germany, Italy, and many other African countries, there are no limits as to what term you could stay if you want to. But it depends on the people of this country.
So would you propose, I mean, in clear, simple terms, that we should decap the limitation?
Left to me, I will have it. If they decap it, I don't have any strong opinion on that. If they decap it, so be it.
This is an interesting proposition.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
To Freddie Blay, there's nothing wrong. Say President John Dramani Mahama, ebetimi akotete manaso ntimi nko. Obetimi akọ. Say omo approve na court gitum na se bibia ye settle no more amend the constitution no. Na Ghana for eto aba na nko ade a. President John Dramani Mahama obetimi asa rane. Eno ama NPP for bebre omedwa oma pilai. Na yenko constitution nim. What does the constitution says about President John Dramani Mahama? Obetimi akotete him anaso ntimi nko.
Matter. Or say there is nothing to interpret about the presidential term limit in 1992 constitution. None whatsoever. The kind of thinking or talk is only possible in a legal culture that has raised or taught generations of lawyers and judges to believe that not even a constitutional test, one that is not in tension of the structure or history or purpose of the test or any other part of the constitution, can constrain a judge. Or say, Yasuso sa kasa ebi se esuan mo bia sori na ode asem ko Supreme Court. Asem a ye ken confusion bia enihu. This is Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh and Ekasei. Or say, this is where this Ghana style so-called modern purposive research appears to have led us. An interpretation of Article 66(1) to the effect that the president who has been elected to a second term can stand election again, that is a third term, upon the expiration of the second term, is illegitimate and bogus. Or so because the president bet me a third term because any consecutive na would or say or say judges do not have the authority to rewrite or amend or set aside the provision of the constitution whose text and purpose, including from history, admit of only one meaning. 2 terms means 2 terms. Or say it doesn't lie in the Supreme Court on basis samra. Emra echinyebi enihu. Emra what historical antecedent, no. The Supreme Court doesn't have the right to change that. Now 2 terms means 2 terms. Or see, if the framers of Article 66(1) had wanted to say that the president cannot be elected to the office, the president cannot be elected to the office as president for more than 2 consecutive terms, they would have said so. And they, in fact, said and knew to say in Article 2462 of the same constitution in relation to a DCE. I said this matter must be laid to read. The Supreme Court is not omnipotent and above the Constitution. Into a one Supreme Court. Share na man fam on some messages and you may be saying na confusion be any baby. Meaning, I'm who's a man for be a critic test be. That the behind because my insuya de. Who is in yes, na obedient mean that die. Yanko Constitution. Article 66(1) may come and was say a person elected as president shall, subject to clause 3 of this article, hold office for a term of 4 years, beginning from the date on which he is sworn in. A person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms. Where in this constitution is consecutive written? I don't know, yes, sir. Papa, through communications with also Oma. Into my father, creative BB, two consecutive na when. Or say for not or say a person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms. Mahama do 2 terms. There's no word like consecutive in the constitution. It's your own imagination. I submit to you. Where is the word conservative in this article? There's nothing there. It's a non-starter. Mahama we.
So this particular video credit to a critical analysis Eugene of a share from ono anatas what piece 7 him or the constitution him and some lawyers aka what dropping in na e wo honom aha Dowona TV. Chirawadwen e comment section him.